Hi there, welcome to my channel, which is Andrew's Cast Iron Pan. Our channel mainly uses cast iron pan to make a variety of delicious dishes, especially if your refrigerator often have some ingredients that you don't know how to deal with it. For example, use surplus carrots and potatoes, or the price of the leafy vegetables was too high due to the typhoon some time ago. How to cook with some reasonable priced root vegetables. Today's program is an introduction to these dishes of Regular Bolognese. Regular Bolognese may not familiar to us, but the Italian tomato mint sauce in the restaurant is probably familiar to everyone. Well, before the show started, I'd like to encourage you guys to subscribe my channel. So let's jump into it. Alright, first of all, I will introduce you to the ingredients of Bolognese. Recipe ingredients with celery, onions, carrots, fresh cream, ground pork, German sausages, Italian mixed spices, black pepper grains, red wine, whole peeled tomato, broth powder, and our tagliatelle, which is kind of Italian noodles. First, we will introduce the pretreatment of celery. This includes washing, peeling, and dicing. Then let's wash the celery till clean, especially the part where the roots may be muddy. Then plunk the leaves. Next, use a peeling knife to remove the raw fibers from the outside of the celery. The texture of the finished dish will be better after that. Of course, you can also use the chef knife to peel off. In my opinion, I highly recommend you use a paring knife that is more efficient. Then the knife skill should pay attention to, with the subsequent ingredients consistent for the dicing shape. Roughly chop it into the shape like the dice on my screen. By the way, add some explanation right here. You guys maybe have questions when you saw the introduction of the ingredients. Why didn't you provide the quantity and the capacity of each ingredient? This is because we use as many leftover ingredients as possible from our regular cooking, or when the price of vegetables fluctuates greatly. It is also more economic to use root vegetables that are delivered directly in the season or have little fluctuation. Therefore, we do not insist on what kind of ingredients should be used, but choose reasonable alternatives instead. So that if you have carrots right now, use them. If you have another ground meat like chicken or beef, go for it. It also doesn't matter there is no red wine, no garlic, or something else. The only thing matter is using leftover ingredients in these dishes. Next is the carrot pretreatment, which is include washing, peeling, and shredding. My approach will be a little bit different from the usual in the following: chop the carrot part, which is shred these carrots with a great board. Before we started, don't forget to put the plastic or rubber gloves on to prevent injury. It's gonna be a big deal. I don't want to see a bloody scenes happen in your kitchen, so please keep in mind. Of course, you can use the chef knife to shred carrots directly, whether you have a grater board or not. But in my opinion, using a grater should be a fastest way to shred. As a house cook, I don't have to be stuck in fancy cutting skills, unless you have a picking family member. Well, after shredding them, I still feel a little too long for this length. I'm gonna mince them roughly like this. After being chopped, the texture will be more consistent. Carrots have many valuable benefits, from regulating the intestinal tract to improving night vision. Let me show you a cooking tip. Fat increases the bioavailability of beta-carotene, which can triple your body's ability to absorb it. Let's move on to deal with our German sausages. We easily slice into 1 to 1.5 centimeter sizes. As we know, the sausage has been pre-seasoning with a smoky flavor. We can take this advantage to bring a Western mood into this dish. Next, make our onion into a dye. Whether for nutrition or flavor, the more onions the better. I always add as more as I can. It will shrink a little bit when it is sauteed because of water distribution. In addition, it releases a natural sweetness that enriches the taste of this dish. Marinate our pork minced with a little black pepper and salt. Mix well and leave for a couple of minutes. Well, should we start cooking? First of all, we threw some butter into the skillet and melt them. Pour our onion. The initial heat doesn't need to be too small but medium. Also, it doesn't have to be sauteed too often at the beginning. After 20 minutes of sauteing, the onions will be brown. You can continue to saute it until it turns brown, yellow, and tastes better. And then pour our pork minced into the skillet and saute with onions until the color becomes completely white. Then pour red wine. Let them mix and boil for a while. The fusion of the red wine and the gravy will also make the minced meat deodorant and soft. Next, we pour our carrot and the sausages and celery diced. I poured a little more stuff today so it will not easy to stir. But it doesn't matter because there is plenty of soup underneath. So don't worry about burning. Look, I poured a little more stuff today. Then we will pour our whole peeled tomato. If you have tomato paste, it can also be used as an alternative. Then do a little stir fry and mix well. You can see the color is very vivid. Moving on, we use some stock to wash the tomato sauce inside the cans before pouring it in to avoid waste. Then pour our Italian mixed spices. Then we can cover the pots and switch to the small fire. Simmer for at least 2 hours.
2 hours later.
Well, after 2 hours of slow simmering, when open the lid, you can see that the Bolognese has been completed, which is very beautiful bright red. But for our other popular tasty, we still have to make a little adjustment to this, which is add some tomato ketchup, add a little bit of sugar. You can also add some sweet corn or mushrooms to make the taste suitable for all ages, so if you have children to eat. Next, I will pour in a secret weapon, which is whipped cream. The flavor of the whipped cream will make the whole Bolognese better than fresh milk, which is too watery. In Europe, many regions farmers are engaged in dairy farming. Spontaneously, there will be a lot of dairy products that can be utilized in dishes. Includes all types of milk and cheese. Although some of them can be too unique to get in your area, that's totally fine to use an alternative. Let's try the test. If there is no problem, then after boiling again, cover the lid and turn off the heat. But don't rush to open it. Keep the lid on and use the remaining heat to continue simmering for at least 30 minutes. Well, this Bolognese is finally finished. Okay, let's jump to the final stage, cooking the noodles. Before we throw the noodles into the pot, you must verify how long your pasta should be cooked. This is extremely important. For the demonstration, I used white flat noodles according to the introduction, which take about 4 minutes to cook. If you have other kinds of noodles like spaghetti, binin, fafale, even Chinese style noodles, don't hesitate to use it. Again, as long as you follow the instructions of a few minutes, you will not make mistakes and will have fewer problems.
A few moments later.
If you use these Eastern style noodles, it is recommended to cook 80 to 90% doneness. Still not sure? Take a bite. We can pick it up and stir fry with our ingredients. Then I have this mint sauce. I also add a little water to cook the noodles. Next, we stir fry the noodles with our mint sauce. Add a little cooking water. Of course, if you have cheese, you can add it before you start, but this time we use slice of cheddar cheese. After the sauce has been absorbed, we can serve it with some celery leaves as a garnish. Or other cilantro leaves can be used. Of course, you can also sprinkle some Parmesan cheese on top. Let's apart. This Bolognese broad noodle dish is finished. Alright, after the introduction of the video just now, do you like this dish very much? It is not nutrition but also easy to learn, and you can take the extra ingredients out of your fridge to make better use of them. You guys must be home trying yourself. Of course, if you don't have iron pans, you can use existing pots and pans. But I have to tell you something. That's the main reason why I use the cast iron pan for cooking, because it's non-toxic. It's a little bit a bother to maintain, but it's well worth it for health reasons. If you are interested in how to clean and take care of this cast iron skillet, I'll do another maintenance video. Or you have interest in other dishes, please leave a comment below. Alright, this is for today. I hope you will enjoy it. If you like this video, please click the like button below and subscribe. See you next time. Bye bye.